Hello everyone, can you hear me? Iie sengen, iie sengen, iie sengen, iie sengen. Привет. Okay, we'll probably wait a little while for people to start coming in, but you can start, taking a look at this. These are really easy problems. I got these from Ouchi Nobuyuki's tsumeshogi book, or one of his books. I think he's authored more than one. And it's from the very first problem. He had a larger number of three-move problems than Oyama's, which we did last time. So it might be a little bit too simple for you, but I'm going to try to mix things up with 3 and 5 move problems today, and we'll see how that goes. Remember, if you want to take a stab at the problem, please send me a whisper rather than just directly in chat so that other people can't see what you're writing to me. Iie sengen, iie sengen. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, and if later on we still have some time, if you have any games that you wanted me to look at of yours, we could do that too, time permitting. Yeah, I do speak some Japanese. My reading and writing's a lot better than my speaking and hearing. Even if you're not totally fluent in Japanese, it does help to know some, because there's so much terminology that's used even in let's say the English shogi world, the English speaking shogi world. So Same like judo or karate. It's very good to know at least the lingo so that you know what others are talking about. And if you decide later on that you want to uh, go further into shogi study, um, there'll be a lot more material open to you if you do know some Japanese. So hopefully the people who are watching are compiling vocabulary lists. If they're not familiar with certain terms, um, we can go over those, and hopefully eventually they'll be able to at least make out some of the things that are said in Japanese texts. Yes, that is correct. Let me turn off the audio. This is forced, and then mate. Good, good. We can load up the next one. See, we have 4 viewers. I can't see who they are. Oh, down to 3 again. Back up to 5. Hello everyone, glad you could join us. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, tell me if you need a hint and I'll provide one to you. So how's everyone doing today? Okay, I'm gonna send a few. It doesn't look like there's that many people here, so I'm gonna go into the lobby and send messages to a couple of people. Please bear with me. I'm sorry, the board's gonna disappear for a sec. Hopefully you'll keep that position in mind though. Let me look. Oh, nope, that's you. Yeah, that's all about everyone I've starred. Okay. Are you a chess player too? Oh, okay. Yeah, since no one else seems to be answering, uh, can I ask what moves you're looking at? What candidate moves you're looking at, and then we can examine them? Uh, the 3-7 square has a token on it. So I'm not sure what what you actually wanted to say. Yes, that is correct. Good. Start out with this check. King is forced up, and then mate. King can't go back because of the gold, and there's this discovered check here. Also, very importantly, protecting the lands. So that's mate. Very good. We can move on to our next problem. Hi, Andalash. Haven't seen you here before. Glad you could join us. Yes, that's correct. Just mate this way, and also king back. Good, good. Okay. 4. Hi Destiny, it's good to see you. Today we're doing very simple Ouchi tsumeshogi problems. Yes, that is correct. You have no sound? Jeez, that almost defeats the purpose of having audio. Okay, we'll show the answer. Sacrifice in front of the lance. This is a common theme. If takes, there's a hole now that you can drop the silver. And if king takes, then it blocks the lance's protection of the 1-3 square. So there's mate here. Good. Yes, that is correct. Good. Okay. Start out here. And mate. Pawn on 2-6 stops him from going to 2-5. And if king 1-5, there's mate this way. And if king 1-4, also mate here. All right, we're done with the three move problems for today. We can move on to the 5-move ones. Thanks for the sub, Hubert Neutron. Glad you could join us. Yeah, your new face. Huh. Always glad to see new people. Do you play on 81 Dojo? Yeah, Hubert, if you would like to take a stab at the problem, please send me a whisper, and I'll tell you if your solution is correct or not. Does anyone wish to throw out any candidate moves? Let me know what you're thinking, and we can examine them together. You can throw them right out in the chat since there aren't that many people here today. Okay, let's see, we can look at that. Only thing about that is bishop takes. I don't see a good way to continue the checks. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, the move I'm looking at is knight to 2-3. You want to take a look at that? King here, there's this. King up, then there's this. So that means the only move to put up resistance is to move the king to 4-1. And then is there a way to finish this off? Oh, I'm really sorry. I made a mistake when I set this problem up. I'm gonna have to redo it. But at this point, there still seems to be a mate. Let me set up the problem correctly. I'm very sorry again. Oh, yeah, give me a sec. Oh, weird. This is really strange. It's not... I actually did have... Huh. You know, there must be a bug in the program because it's not showing up. Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, this thing isn't showing up as I set it up. There's supposed to be a rook at white rook at 3-2. So since we're having some problems with this, I'm just going to show it directly on my BCM shogi. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Okay, this should be the correct position. Probably have to tell Hidechi about that. Yeah, it's funny because when I was looking at it, I thought it looked a little bit too simple. That this one will have a nice tetsuji on the third move. Schwartz, if you can hear me, the position that you're looking at is actually incorrect. If you look at the position on Twitch, that's the one that we're currently looking at. Yeah, but then what? I mean, incidentally, there was a mate in this one with this, and this. But it's really strange because I set the BOD file up correctly, but yet in this position the rook's gone. Does anybody have any guesses? Well, what are you going to do after that, though? Okay. So let me suggest a move. This 2-3 knight check. King here, then there's going to be a mate. Easy mate. So the only way for the king to run is to go to 4-1. Okay. Denise suggested this. The idea being if I goma, then there's going to be this mate, similar to that incorrect solution that we looked at. However, after 5-1 king, it ends up escaping. So that didn't turn out too well. So let's go back to this position. So the theme of this problem is interference. It's also referred to as, well, it's considered interference in chess terminology. You might be familiar with it. In English shogi lingo, I think they call it a focal point. No, that's not gonna work. If you do this, you're just losing the knight. And you end up in the same position without the knight in hand, because this is the initial one, so it doesn't make sense. Yep, that is correct. Promotion at the focal point. 3 different ways to capture. All of them have the downside. So we'll look at them one by one. If bishop takes, that stops the rook from protecting the 5-2 square. Let me draw an arrow. Yep, prevents. Huh. It's not letting me draw arrows. No, arrows are not showing up. Weird. Oh, that's just disappointing. Okay, imagine I'm drawing an arrow from the rook to the gold. That's blocked by the bishop. Yeah, I guess it's just one of those days. If rook takes, then we can drop the gold here, because the rook's no longer protecting the 3-1 square, so that'll be made that way. And finally, if the king takes, then 5-2 gold ends it. Good. Okay. Here we can open our next one. I don't know if it's better just to do everything on BCM today. Okay, let me close that. Okay, there we go. Oh, weird. Now the arrows decide to work. Huh. Yeah, that is so weird. Yeah, the thing about this interface is I don't know how to delete the arrows once you've drawn them. So if you've done something incorrectly, it's just kind of there. It's actually a pretty nice interface. The only thing is it lacked a good user manual, so people had to kind of figure out things out by themselves. So if anyone actually knows how to delete arrows, please let me know. This is BCM Shogi. If you looked at Hidechi's videos, it used BCM extensively. Yes, thank you. Yes, I draw I drew the arrow just to test it out, thinking that it wouldn't do anything. Oh, it's not that important, at least for this problem. Okay, please suggest candidate moves. You can do it directly in the chat this time. And you can examine them one by one. Okay, Denise suggests, whoops, yes, yes, promotes. Yeah, that's definitely a candidate move. King will have to take, but then how to continue? There doesn't seem to be any good way. If promotes, king would drop back, and then if you do a check like this, king can dodge here, no promote, and then king goes up. So that ends that attempt. Oh, regarding the arrows, I'd like to be able to draw them. I just want to know how to delete the arrows in case I make a mistake. Yes, 2-2 rook promote does not work. So I'll give you a hint. There's two very light moves in a row. Ah, okay, okay. Hopefully you're able to follow along with the variations. Two light moves in a row. Okay, I'm guessing you mean 2-3 knight promote. Yes, that is the first move. And the king is forced to take. Then what? Do you mean bishop? Because that's a rook. I think you mean bishop, right? Oh, were you thinking about that? Yeah, yeah, the only problem with this is the lance is going to take it. Yeah, check, and the king escapes this way. Okay, so when we're looking at this position, uh, what you want to do is look at the bishop on 5-1. You notice the diagonal is being blocked by the rook. So you want to be able to clear that in and mate at the same time? Is there a way to do it? Okay, I'll give you guys about a minute and then I'll show the answer. Yes, that is correct. The light move is to promote the bishop here. That way you force the king into a position where you can do a double check. If he runs away, there's a mate this way with the pawn in hand. So that's the extraneous solution. So the king must take, and then you do this double check. Oh, the interface doesn't want to draw arrows again. Oh, there we go. Double check. Okay. Yeah, I figured out why the thing isn't drawing arrows. If you move to move 6 where it says tsumi, it no longer allows you to draw anything. But if I go back to the 5th move, then it lets me. Okay. You have to go to Object Tool and then click on an arrow or a shape and then use the middle button on your mouse. It's really weird. I don't understand why you would decide to do this, but he chose the middle button. You know, the one with the wheel on it? And then you can draw the arrows. Yeah. Anyone want to suggest some candidates? Just shout it out in chat. Yes, that is a good move. Two-five knight. Suggested by Denise. If rook takes, one for gold, mates. So the only move is for king to take it. Worry a little bit about this. So the next move should take care of that. Yep, that is correct. We see that interference theme again here. You notice a lot of these moves have more than one purpose. This one will stop the king from going up. And bishop, well, horse takes, and then no longer protects the 1-3 square. So there's mate that way. And if king takes, there's mate this way. Thanks to the pawn and token. Stops him from running here. This token stops him from running there. In Japanese, it's called uma. It means horse, not to be mistaken for a knight. Yeah, the bishop is called uma. Well, promoted bishop is uma. Horse. Yeah. Okay. We have one more problem today. Let's see. Here, I'll write it down in chat. Uma. We have one last problem today. Okay. Oh wait, no, we have two more problems today. Sorry about that. Yeah, we've just been breezing by these problems so quickly. Yeah, this problem also has to do with the focal point. Hello, Ken-san. Thank you for joining us today. Any ideas? Yes, that is correct. How's your cat doing, by the way? Okay, I will show the first move of the solution. Focal point with 2-3 silver. This totally screws up the coordination. If either rook takes, there's this 1-1 gold drop mate. So the only thing left is for the king to take. And after that, oh, I'll wait to see if you guys can find the next move. I sometimes forget that you guys can see the pointer hovering over certain squares, so I have to remember not to do that. Okay. Next move. Well, if you're looking at taking the rook, that's not going to work because the king takes it this way. But instead of that, there's a really nice tsumeshogi with this check. If the king goes back, there's this gold drop. So the knight takes it, and then 2-2 gold mate. Okay, we are going to do our final problem for today. Let me load it up. Well, actually, let me show that one more time. Here, takes, okay, good. Yes, that is correct. Okay, I'll show the first move of the solution. I have this check. If king moves up, there's this. If takes, then there's this. So the only move to put up some resistance is to take it with the gold. Okay, so when you're looking at this position, you should look at the king's escape routes. Whoops, sorry about that. You should be looking at the king's escape routes here and here. Another thing you should be considering is this pawn here. In these tsumeshogi problems, uh, when they're composing it, there's not supposed to be any extraneous pieces. So when you're looking at the position, you should try to figure out what each thing does. If we go back, for instance, you notice this token here prevents the king from running to this square. So that's its purpose. So when we look at this position, we have to ask why the pawn is here on 1-6. Okay, I'll give you about another minute and then I'll show the answer. Hopefully you'll find it in that time. The king is going to end up running to 3-2 in that variation. You can take a look at it briefly. Wait, 3-2 check. Oh, yeah, you can run here. Threatens to run up here or here. If this check, it goes up this way, and it threatens to go up here. Okay, check. The king comes up this way. And he's looking to escape on 2-5. Yeah, I really wish I could clear these arrows, because there's something else I wanted to show. I guess another way I could do it is just reopen this thing again. But it isn't much of a solution. Okay, I'll give you a hint. You notice if the king were on 1-2 instead, what would you play? Yeah, 2-2 gold, right? You mean? Yep. This way. Notice the dragon stops him from going back. Mate. Good. Good, good. Alright. Well, that's it for the tsumeshogi. Denise, did you have any game that you wanted me to look at? I guess we could take a look if you have anything really quickly. If not, we could always do it later. Okay, okay. Well, invitation's always open. If you have something next time, you can always show me, and we can. I think maybe instead of just doing tsumeshogi, what we can do is combine it with a game review or something. Preferably if it's regarding the end game. Okay. Well, everyone, thank you for joining me. Next time we will be doing some more Ouchi tsumeshogi problems and maybe a game review if anyone has something that they want to take a look at. Uh, please make sure that it's related to the end game since that's what we're concentrating on right now. And if you enjoyed the stream and wish to support it, you can contact me at alexi2539@gmail.com. Support needn't only be in the form of monetary donations. Preparing streams and videos take up more time than others may realize, and I'm fairly new to streaming and making videos, so if you have expertise in this, it would be most welcome. You can also help me out with crowdsourcing of tasks to help free up my time by word of mouth, telling others about the stream and YouTube channel, and just being here during the stream and watching past videos, making comments and suggestions, giving thumbs up or down. These all help out a lot too. And for the other watchers, if you haven't already done so, please follow the stream and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Iye Sengen, Iye Sengen.